Sometimes like I always do one game a week basically. But apparently not right now. Right now basically just play whatever I can play, because that's the only thing I can do right now. Okay. I just realized I just caught myself sounding really goddamn depressed right now. There we go. I'm trying not to. My channel is not for me just like to nag and shit like that. It happens at the beginning mostly for the reason of like me explaining about what's going on in my life. Like it's just like people just chatting in the beginning. Only thing that I don't really have much to chat about. There isn't really much happening right now other than like I just do have work. Okay, so push detective analyze.
ピンカートン家の誇りにおっと家族くんめ美食くんと連携させたことにへそを曲げて私からの連絡を
we can't contact her because she is kind of annoyed now.
これでは介入できないじゃないか家族くんは本当
それじゃどうするんですか
探偵たちはプログラムでなく人間だからなこのように介入ができない探偵も当然いるさだからこそ指示する側の人間には臨機応変な指示が科学くんならこの証拠品も的確な検証を行えるはずさあ絨毯の切れ端の検証を命じるんだ
Yes, when it's an exit basically it's like we can't control them. I realized something. This game reminds me of.
さあ実験を始めましょうか
Ah, okay, so these are done. This is not. But this game kind of reminds me of that Sherlock Holmes game I played a while back, which unfortunately, because it was a server-based game, got shut down after a while. It was kind of sad. I actually liked the game. It was an interesting look and everything. Kind of wish it was just like not local, but like you created a server or something, because it was a really good game. It's recommended to do a preliminary investigation first so that other detectives can still act afterwards. Okay, so like what I did now allowed no one really to act. So what MP has that? That has 9, which means that you have the... I don't remember, was it inspection? No, analyzing. Inspection and assistance, so it was like inspection. So I'm gonna move you here. Hold on, give me a second.
お姉さんに何かご用？どうかしたの？
Oh, I can interfere with that, can I?
もう謎は
Okay, so I don't... Okay, now I understand. So you don't need to really be on them. You just need to be on something like that does something. For example, she was already investigating something, I guess, so we could just interfere with her.
移動していない探偵がいて向かってほしい場所がある場合は今回の場合検証しか行っていない科学くんなどがいい例だな謎はエントランスホールに集中しているんだ移動してもらっておこう
Yes, we have a move and an action.
僕にご用ですか
We already used an action, but we can still use a move.
いいじゃないか 今の通りだよ。これで次にエントランスホールで何かしてほしい行動が。
でももう推理すべき謎もなくなりますよね。
さて、それはどうかな。推理の結
I
果
still don't know
を
what the
楽しみにして
red
くれ。
dots are basically.
それと、もし手持ち無沙汰な探偵がいたら、ひとまず事件とは無関係ではあるが、面白いものが見つかるかもしれないからな。さあ、準備ができたなら、探偵たちに捜査開始の指示を出そう。
Upon starting an investigation, those who haven't it will be will perform determined actions. If you notice any idle detective, it's a good idea to have them perform. Detectives who don't act can relocate to any space on the map. To do so, select move and press Y. Be aware of that the detective will be unable to act after a map-wide movement. Huh. I'm gonna check what this is, because I'm curious what this is.
視線を上げた。何か用ですかと。少女はこの辺りが怪しいですね。
Just because.
少女
Well,
は
anyway, let's investigate. Alright, we assist with someone already
この
investigating.
床
We both can
よく見
investigate
ると
one place.
床板同士に隙間ができているわね。この隙間のおかげで音が下に通りやすいのかしら。この隙間ならワイヤーだって通すことができるはず。犯人が死体をバラバラにした方法って
Ah, not fully. It happened on above. I think at least it happened above.
やはりな。床の隙間と絨毯の切れ端の関係性を紐解いたことで、入り口の扉付近にミステリーポイントとエビデンス
科学探偵にエントランスホールへ来てもらっておいて正解でしたね。
そうだろ。一つ謎が解ければ新たな謎が生まれることもあるんだ。さて、次は私は口出ししない。君が一人で探偵たちに
無理ですよ。
無理じゃない。ここまで君は私の期待通り素晴らしい指示を見せて
Now
く
we're
れ
doing
た。
this on our own.
次は私の期待を超えてみせてくれ。
Okay. I still love the recalling component. Hydrangea eyes, I cannot pronounce anything right now. Bore into me, rendering me speechless. She's serious. Her gaze holds no mirth, only anticipation. The chief of the DA is looking to me and uttering comfort. If I turn back now, how will I ever become an exceptional detective?
やってみます。期待を超えてみせます。
ありがとう。では私に見せてくれ。君の推理を。
I look at the D-pad. The gears in my brain wiring frantically. Or whirring, I don't know. I love that trying to like, it says that she's... Oh. Oh yeah, that thing did actually disappear. Interesting.
僕にご用ですか？
Wow. Your inspection is really bad, isn't it?
僕が解決しましょう。ネジ一つだっ
There
て
we
見
go.
逃
We
しま
can
せ
still
ん。
inspect that thing.
お姉さんに何かご用？
I'm gonna move closer to here.
何か用かな。
They said something of like map movement? Map-wide movement. Okay, so I can basically let them just rush somewhere. That is still good though, but that allows them like not to do anything. Just because I can. I might as well just do it on some of these red, because I can do that. There you go. And I don't think... Can we preliminary? Ah, we can. Give me a second. Evidence. Yeah, we need to figure out the wall switch. Analyze difficulty 3. Everyone has already done shit, so I can't really do, and I can't intervene with her. So I might as well just investigate. 6 hours remaining until annihilation. I love it's called annihilation. Okay, doesn't matter. What we can do now is we're gonna do inspect this area. Inspect this area. Analyze. Wall switch. Now we do preliminary to allow those who have act to act. Yeah, so I got keywords from that, so that's like extra stuff.
見事だ。今のように
Yes, you figure out that if you use this switch, you basically just allow it to smack it down.
推理するにはどんな情報が必要かよく見極めていこう。
There we go. That has 13.
甘味完食雨あられ甘味完食雨あられ歯ごたえがなさそうな
Now we have
何か用かな僕たちで
There we go.
真相を解き明かすんだ
Well, we've already done the preliminary, so let's just investigate. So investigate is basically end the turn, I guess. Oh, nice. Almost. We don't really need anything special, so let's just do this and investigate. There we go. Because I think this is the last one for this test. Entrance door, okay. Investigate complete. Continue to result screen, yeah? So we found, well, almost every keyword. So we have the D-pad, something, Q incident, and fold mass shooting, Akihabara. Jesus. Residual thoughts, nothing. Turns left 5. Okay. Yes, now we want to save. I wasn't able to save before, so I was basically in the middle of where we were before, which I think was when I actually saved the game. There we go. I'm just taking on my blanket again because it was not cold, but I fell for it.
最高にときめく指示だったぞ。君がそばにいてくれて本当に良かった。皆に暖炉のあるリビングへ集まるよう指示を出したから、私たちも向かうとしよう。私たち全員でこの複雑怪奇な事件の真相を
I think the glove is for the wire. I do wonder who did it though. I call out to stop Ideal Detective as we make our way back.
教えてください。僕をこの島に呼んだ本当の理由って何なんですか？
I can't help but ask. I need to know the rest of what she was going to say earlier. After all, why would someone as bumbling as myself be invited to stand amongst the talent crowd of detectives like this? And for the chief of the DA to place so much trust in me. It's nothing short of bizarre.
自分の実力は自分が一番分かっています。あなたの寵愛を受けるほど僕は優秀じゃありません。それにあなたは明らかに僕を見知った様子だ。一体僕に何をさせたいんですか？僕みたいな素人がこの島で何をしろって言うんですか？
My shouts echo down the hall as every pent-up question I have comes bursting out at once. I just can't understand why this world-famous detective would act so cryptic towards me.
すまない。意地悪が過ぎたな。
Ideal gives a wry smirk, then scratches her cheek.
君の困り顔が見たいと、私の中のいたずら坊やが悪さをしてしまってな。君が自分から気づいてくれるまで黙っておこうかと思っていたんだ。
Well, the thing is, I don't know what I'm like trying to notice. Also, where did my phone go? Just in case someone's trying to reach me. Okay, I'm just seeing a message. I believe it's gonna be the same thing as always. Sorry, my mood recently is not the best, and yeah, I can't really do much about that. Unfortunately, I wish I could. I wish I could just stop with everything, but no. There we go. Okay, let's continue with the stream. That's the only thing that matters right now.
サプライズをしたいという私の心情も汲んでくれると嬉しいな。ワト君。
There you go. This is a normal question. It's like when I played Urban Myth Dissolution Center when I was at home. Each time I heard the phone on that game, it actually kind of freaked me out. Also, it is her. So yeah, it's like each time I just get a message and see it's a message, I'm having basically like, oh yeah, it's another one. Could it really be my heart or catches in my throat? Only one person, someone I met 10 years ago, called me by that name. But there's just no way.
ずっと再会する日を夢見てきたんだ。探偵同盟への加入が決まった君をこの会議に呼んでしまうのも無理からぬというものだろ。
Yeah, so we were right. It actually was her.
私の本名はサイカ・シェリンフォード・ホームズ。
Oh, I thought that the guy before Renegade was actually shitting each time he said Holmes, in a sense of like messing with her, but apparently her name is Holmes. My voice comes out in a shout before I curb it. I breathe deeply, but the shock won't subside. Ideal detective is Saika. That can't be. I saw her covered in blood right before me.
サイカちゃんが生きているわけない。僕は彼女の無念を晴らしたくてこれまで頑張ってきたのに。それなのに。
落ち着け。
Ideal comes close and softly cups my cheek. I'm startled by the sudden intimacy, but her arm around my waist keeps me in place. Where are we going with this?
君はどうやらあの牢獄での記憶を忘却してしまっているようだ。よほど君にとって深い
It really did.
傷だったのだな。
Because basically the only thing we remember is she dying and he wants basically revenge in a good sense. I would say justice, more revenge, I guess. But now when she's here, it's like something in that memory happened and you don't know what.
無理に思い出そうとして心が壊れてしまってはいけない。徐々に思い出していけばいいさ。
僕は本当にあなたを。
ああ、先ほどみんなの前で語った言葉に嘘はない。君は確かに私を救ってくれた。だから、
That's an interesting beginning twist of the game, though. That basically the one we wanted to save that we couldn't. which became the reason why we do things, is still alive, and we did save them. It's just that something happened that we can't remember that part. It's interesting that we remember the like shocking part about everything, but we don't remember what happened afterwards, because as you said, we saved her. But somehow we forgot we did.
敵は私が思うよりもずっと狡猾で冷酷だった。私一人の力では探偵同盟は全滅を免れない。
I feel like it's gonna end in a sense that she will not be alive for the whole game at least. I'm not gonna like say that it's gonna be the beginning now or something like that, but I feel like
本当に君の力が必要だからだよ。
either she's evil
今はただこの言葉を
or she is gonna be a victim. But I feel like she's too connected to us already in a very strange sense that it feels odd to just I like it doesn't feel like she's like a in-game sidekick, if we say so. She feels too like connected. What abilities? Idle gazes at me with a sadness that reminds me of the Psyche I once knew. That vulnerable, girlish expression taking the place of her usual... I guess it was nearly identical. But I can't help but wonder if this is truly the same person.
本当にサイカちゃんなの？
ようやくその名前で呼んでくれたな。嬉しいよ。
I can't like now I remember now what Gani talked about 2 days ago when I played this game. He said that on Reddit people said if you like Zero Escape and stuff like that and other games, and like I think also even like Ace of Thorny would like this game. I just realized in the 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors, we all had
覚えておくといい。
fake names because just in case we didn't give everyone our real name. And kind of just realize it's the same here. They have the thing because to save, like to protect oneself. But we know each other, so we know each other's name.
誰が疑おうとも、君が君自身を信じられずとも、たとえ君に疑念を向けられようとも。だから私の活躍を隣で見守っていてくれ。そうしていればきっと真実も思い出せるはずだろうからな。
Idle steps back from me, her expression already reverting to its usual dignified air. Between her contestants and as the chief of DA and as a vulnerable girl, I'm not sure which is real. It's so much a cause for suspicion, and yet...
まだ僕には何が正しいのか分かりません。だけど今のあなたの言葉は真実だと信じます。いや、信じたいんです。
Fair enough.
今まで何度も過去に戻ってサイカちゃんを救いたいって考えてきましたから。
I wasn't able to do so back then. So I truly want to believe that what she say that Psyche is alive. Even those sweet words are mere deceit.
ただもちろん 100% 信じたわけじゃありません。言われた通り隣で見極めさせてもらいますよ。理想さんの言葉が真実かどうか。
ああ、望むところだよ、ワト君。私の一挙一動をつぶさに観察するといい。
I do wonder what this is, sir. Like, as I said, like, this is so strange because before when I played this game, I didn't get this far, so I played a demo. And basically, I felt it was like it was her, but for her to reveal it this easily feels like too easy in a sense.
二人きりの時くらい、昔のようにサイカちゃんと呼んでくれないか？
That's kind of adorable, though.
いや、それはあなたが本当にサイカちゃんだって信じたわけじゃありませんし。
変なところで意地っ張りなのは昔から変わらないな。じゃあせめて普段からホームズ呼びで頼むよ。 こちらの名前は他の探偵にも知れ渡っているから問題ないしな。
Yeah, fair enough.
わかりました。ホームズさん。
よし、有効の処方を踏めたな、ワトくん。
Holmes' face beamed with genuine elation. The fact that it's moving me so easily is proof enough that I'm a rookie detective. Come on, Watahojo. Get it together. Oh. The D-pad pings with a notification. The others must have been gathering in the living room by now.
さて、それではこの事件にケリをつけるとしようか。
Is it gonna be one of those games where it's actually like Danganronpa, where each person is the one that did it? We're just gonna have to figure out who. Because if so, we're gonna technically lose a lot of people, one after another, doesn't matter what we do. I have no clue what she would want from me, but I decided to trust her for now. If I stay by her side, the truth behind why I was brought here may finally come to light. All 13 detectives, including Holmes and myself, gather around the room. Holmes had a few logs to the crackling fire before turning to address us.
やあ、探偵諸君。それぞれの役割をこなしてくれてありがとう。みんなのおかげで、老子探偵を八つ咲きにしたトリックの正体をつかめたよ。あとはその全容を明らかにしていくだけだ。
教えてくださ
There
い。
you go, trying to do automatic while I can do automatic.
一体犯人は誰なんですか？
実に庶民らしい落ち着きのない男ですわね。犯人の前にまず明らかにしないといけないものがあるでしょ。
And that would be what? What do we need to
明らかにし
clarify?
ないといけないものって。
それは老子探偵をどのように殺害したかですわ。
True.
家族くんの言
It
う
might
通
be a
り
good
だ。
idea to figure that out as
ま
well.
ずは誰がしたかよりも誰にできたかから考え、事件の外堀を埋めていこう。家族くんの考えではどのように老子探偵は殺害されたのだと思う？
ズバリシャンデリアのトラップと連動したトリックですわ。
Yeah.
シャンデリアのトラップと連動？それって僕が扉を開けた時に作動したあの？
Yeah, because basically when we moved, we just got hit in the head with it instead. The culprit utilized the trap. But for what
無
purpose?
能くん、粘土で遊んだことはあるかい？粘土をできるだけきれいに両断しようと思ったなら、君はどうする？刃物などを使ってもなかなかうまくいかないだろう？
学校ではテグスなどの細い糸を巻きつけて引っ張る方法を学んだ覚えがあります。
グッド。ならば次
Yeah,
の
the problem is
質
when
問
you
だ。
do that, it gets a rather weird ass.
もし粘土を切り刻む
Cut.
原理で鋭利なワイヤーを人間に巻きつけ、思い切り引っ張ればどうなるかな？
それって。
Seeing the detective mutilate his body flashed across my mind. My skin prickles. The wire was definitely sharp enough to do something. If you were to wrap it around someone and yank it, they would be sliced apart almost effortlessly, just like clay.
察しがついたみたいだね。そう。ワイヤーで何かを切ろうと思うなら、巻きつけた後に。
Okay, so did it around him and pull.
でもさ、
I felt it was a bit odd because if you do that, it doesn't get a clean cut because technically the wire crosses, and if you pull, it gets kind of like this weird ass cross section. That's why I thought it was basically like the chandelier had it and then basically did it downwards. But that would also explain the clue we got, that basically is like the gaps between the floor. It must have been that it was like stuck there And then when the chandelier went down, it basically pulled. And that's why also the carpet is basically cut.
いい質問だな、渋谷君。そう、このトリックの肝はどのようにワイヤーを引っ張ったかだ。地下で老子探偵に絡まった状態のワイヤーを引っ張るにはどのような方法があるだろうか。家族くんならわかるかな。
犯人も少しは知恵を使ったようですけれど、私の高貴な脳細胞にはお見通しでしたわよ。ズバリ犯人はシャンデリアの落下を利用してワイヤーを引っ張り上げたのですわ。
That would probably explain the blood then, because they were pulled up until there was nothing to basically stop them, and then they got cut. That's horrifying.
やれやれ、庶民にもわかるようエレガントに説明して差し上げましょう。
シャンデリアにワイヤーを結びつけて動きが連動するようにしたんだよ。シャンデリアが落下すると自動でワイヤーが巻き上げられる仕組みにね。
ちょっと
私
に説明させなさい。
Orange Detective cuts Holmes off with an half, then continues where she left off.
犯人は老子探偵を薬か何かで眠らせた後、床へと落下させた状態のシャンデリアにワイヤーをくくりつけたのですわ。その後、床の隙間を通してワイヤーをエントランスホールから地下室へと垂らせば準備完了。ワイヤーによって2つの空間がつながったのですわ。
Okay.
床にワイヤーを通せるものなんですか？
エントランスホールの床は地下に音が届くよう床板に若干の隙間が空いていましたでしょ。細いワイヤーを通して地下に垂らすことはどうさもありませんわ。地下に届いたワイヤーを老子探偵の体に結びつけた後、シャンデリアを天井へと引き上げれば準備完了。シャンデリアが天井から落下すると、その動きに連動してワイヤーも引っ張られるという八つ咲き装置の完成ですわ。
So technically we were the one that did it. Also, we're gonna have an ad in about 5 minutes, people. Just warning you all.
果たした上で老子探偵を殺害してみせたのでしょう。
見事な推理だ。しかし確証が欲しいな。ワト君はこのトリックの痕跡を覚えているかい？
Yeah, I think. The scratches on the chandelier. Trust level. I didn't even know we had trust level. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't read that, so I thought it was a timer first.
エクセレント。その通りだよ、ワト君。あのシャンデリアの構造はかなり頑強だ。よほど鋭利なものでも使わない限り傷つかない。それこそ鋼鉄すら切断可能なワイヤーでも使わない限りはな。
Fair enough.
ならホームズの言う通り、ワイヤーとシャンデリアの罠が犯行に利用されたことは間違いないだろうね。無能君、気分はどうだい？
I think he already knows. I was the one who killed him.
どういうこと？
鈍いな。シャンデリアの罠によって老子探偵が殺されたということはだよ。君が洋館の扉を開かなければ老子探偵は八つ咲きにならずに
I was technically an unknown part. So, well, that's the fun part. It does tell me that he wouldn't have gotten hacked into pieces if I never opened the door. But they came in after me, so technically, they all would have opened the door and let that happen no matter what. Shock lances through my spine, and I begin to break out in a cold sweat. So, it was all because of me. If I hadn't triggered the trap, then senior detective would still be alive. Even now, I can feel the doorknob in my hand. To think that at that moment, a man was being sliced apart right below my feet.
僕が作動させたトラップで。
初めて人を殺してしまった気分はどうだい？まるで泥の沼に浸ったみたいに悪くない気分だろう。大丈夫、すぐになれるさ。
下がれ、下道探偵。私がうんと言うまで口を閉じていろ。
そんなに睨むなよ。そそられるじゃないか。
I really don't like him.
警告するのは2度までだ。
I just hear my phone and I'm just like... I'm not joking, each time I hear my phone right now, I just like feel worse and worse almost. It's like I said before, I kinda got this like tick now, especially if I hear a phone go off. It's like when I said before, when I play like Urban Myth Solution Center and they had like this phone vibration, even I was like, I don't like that sound because it sounds like a phone. I'm not joking, I still actually get that feeling. Yo, hey Gani. Same, to be honest. I can't really say I'm doing better. I am just trying to bear with everything that's happening. As I just said, you remember when most of us basically didn't like Urban Myth Dissolution Center's phone vibration? I still get messages that I need to check up, and it just brings me back to like the same thing I did before, which actually makes me feel just worse. But how are you doing? I hope you're doing good today, Gani. I'm sorry for my fucking ranting. I'm trying my best not to, but like, I'm really tired of this, to be honest. Yeah, sorry, no problem. It's just shit that's happening because I put myself in this situation, that's all. Holm then turns to me, all signs of anger wiped clean from her face. Yeah, and because my schedule is a bit here and there right now, I'm still like doing the same times, just I don't know what to play or how to play some stuff. I decided to play this again. Apparently, we managed to figure out that we were the one that killed the man underneath the floorboards.
入り口のトラップは他の探偵でも発動は避けられなかったものだ。それにむしろ無能くんはいい働きをしたと言っていい。無能くんの行動のおかげで犯人の計画は致命的なクリアが生じてしまったんだ。
Well, to be fair, I don't think they thought of me existing, and I came into this house earlier than anyone else. So I do wonder what that error was.
いい働きを。
What could she mean by that? As much as I want to demand the answer, I wait to hear the rest of her deduction. But yes, I hope you all are having a good Thursday though. Whatever happens with me on this side, that's kind of me. I do apologize for having like these rants or talks about it, but that's basically the only thing that's happening in my life right now. Like, there isn't really much else happening. As I said before, there was one thing good happening, and that was that apparently at work they do actually like my way of working. I did actually get some praise yesterday, apparently. Didn't really prepare for that because I just work because work. And yeah, we have an ad now. Yeah, to be completely honest with you, I'm feeling pretty shit right now. Just did a math exam, I couldn't answer a single question. And I'm just taking the empty exam paper with me instead of handing it in to the desk. Not like there is anything to grade there anyway. Not gonna lie, I feel pretty sad and kinda disappointed in myself. Ads. Yeah, hold on. Tell me when the ads are over if you can hear this, and I'm gonna answer that later.
ワイヤーはシャンデリアに連動して。
でもよ、普通にくくりつけたんじゃシャンデリアに合わせて老子探偵が上下の移動を繰り返すだけにならねえか？引っ張り上げられた時に殺されたわけじゃねえんだろ？
Yeah, the way they explained it didn't really show that he was like cut. It was just like flying in the air.
ヤマト君の言いたいことはわかるよ。地下の老子探偵の体を切断するのに必要なのはワイヤーを引っ張り上げる力だからな。
Yay, welcome back.
落下運動に連動しても
But yeah,
節電ができない
I
んだよ
know that feeling
と
because there
言い
was
たいのか
many tests I couldn't really fix and many things I couldn't really
落
do.
下運動まあよく言ってることは
So
わからねえけど
yeah,
多
don't
分
don't
そんな
blame
感じだ
yourself
ぜ
too much on that. Like even I have not been able to do certain tests because it was way too difficult for me to understand or I couldn't figure out anything. I know that feeling. I do really know that feeling. I have been there recently. But yeah, like the thing with tests, like even I have had math tests, and there were so many times I couldn't answer shit because they didn't explain anything well to me. So you are not alone with that, with basically like not being able to figure out what to actually like say on a test or stuff like that. So don't blame yourself too much on that. Like I have been there, I've had math tests. I have basically just sit there sometimes answering somewhere I think I can answer, don't answer somewhere I know I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. It's the same thing with the whole programming thing. I didn't know how to do that and I just said fuck it. I accidentally left my notebook in classroom. I wasn't 8 hours ago, hopefully still there. Hopefully, yeah, like I feel like I've done the same thing recently. Like the more shit is happening, the more I forget stuff or the less things happening. It's as I said before, like I used to believe in karma, in a sense of karma. Like it's not karma, but like luck, bad luck, kind of evenness.
確かに
And I feel right now that doesn't even exist. I have no goddamn good luck or anything good happening to me recently.
家族くん
At least not that evens out what's going on, because yeah, I got a job. They do like me at the work, but that is not enough for all the bullshit that's going on right now in my life. But yeah, I am sorry to hear that though, Genny.
それはです
It happens to everyone, so I can say you are not alone with that. You are definitely not alone. I have been there. I don't know many people personally that have been there, but I know there are other people that have been there as well.
無能くん助け舟をあげてくれ最初に家族くんと推理を行っていたのは誰であったか覚えているだろう
I can still hear my phone. Ugh. There's only one detective who was initially investigated with Porsche at the start, and that was Gourmet.
美食さん、あなたならシャンデリアの落下を利用して老子探偵を殺害する方法に気づいているんじゃないですか
Still had the sniffle stuff for some reason.
美味しいところを取るみたいだから黙っているつもりだったけれど、そういうわけにもいかないようね。難しい話じゃないわ。犯人は滑車装置の原理でローシちゃんの体とシャンデリアとワイヤーで結びつけたのよ。
Pull assistance. Instead of it going down with it, he goes up when it goes down.
そうそうそれですわ。滑車装置を利用したのですわ。私ってば度忘れしてしまうだなんて。
Like, I have no problem with anyone in this game, really. Porsche is just being Porsche, and she's so weak against, like, talking back that, like, I agree with it. The only one I don't like is Renegade.
滑車装
But
置
he's just basically psycho.
井戸のつるべなどに使われているあれですかそれを使えばどうなるんですか
難しい話じゃないわ。図を書きながら解説してあげるわね。シャンデリアの罠は一度落下した後も壁のスイッチを押すとゆっくり天井まで引き上げられることで何度でも使える仕組みだったわ。この引き上げる力がとってもパワフルでね。人より体重の重い私でも軽々と引き上げてくれたの。
Sorry, I was listening, so I wasn't really fully reading, but I was reading the last part of Walter's Vixen. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, yourself. Oh, okay, so you basically put yourself in this situation. It's like, Well, to be fair, her clothing barely fits her, so alright, fair enough. And my binder isn't there. Goddamn. Yeah, it happens. I can definitely say that shit like that happens, unfortunately. I've not managed to lose something like that before, but I know that I know that stuff like that can happen. I am so sorry to hear that it did happen. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go home, so BRB. Yeah, no problem. Do take care. I do have a good trip. Good trip home.
私よりずっと身軽なローシちゃんの体なら重さに加わっても全然平気でしょうね。
シャンデリアの上に乗って一緒に登ったんですか？
ええ、楽しかったわよ。それに、
Okay,
天
fair
井の
enough.
近くで貴重な手がかりも見つけられたわ。それはワイヤーを引っ掛けていたと思われるフック。それも登山用の強靭なもので、凶器のワイヤー層が擦れても平気な材質のね。
Yeah, so you put that there, put him in the air, and then... Okay, yeah, so now I understand. So it basically was on the floor, wrapped in the wire. The wire was on the chandelier, and then it was pulled up in the chandelier, which means it was in the air. But then they put the wire on the hook, which means that instead of going down again when the chandelier went down, he went upwards because it was basically still pulling.
そのフックを通してシャンデリアにワイヤーをくくりつければ簡単な滑車装置の出来上がり。ついでローシちゃんは天井に貼り付け状態で何もできなかったはず。恐ろしい。
老子探偵の獅子に見られた絵師の痕跡は相当長い間天井に貼り付け状態だった証拠だな。ゾッとしないよ。
For quite some time, huh?
滑車装置さえ作ってしまえばロープを使うなりしてシャンデリアから降りて準備は完了。誰かが扉を開くのを待つだけというわけですわね。
降りるときに使ったロープはどうやって回収を？
おバカさんですわね。そんなのいくらでも回収方法はありますわ。
例えば
And what would
も
that
やい
be?
結びやスリップノットにすれば降りた後に引っ張ってほどくこともできる。今度ゆっくりと教えてあげるよ。
Oh, fair enough. I didn't even know there was like not like that was strong enough for that, but if you just pulled it, it was just wee. I must have lost how to respond when presented with these not options, as if they were obvious possibilities. Aside from Armin, no one seemed phased, as if it's just common detective knowledge. I really am terrifyingly out of my depth.
以上のようにして犯人は私たちがこの島を訪れるよりずっと前にトリックの準備を済ませ洋館を後にしたんだ。
そして僕が扉を開いてトラップが作動したことでワイヤーは滑車装置で巻き上げられて老子探偵の体を引き裂いたんですね。
To think that someone could orchestrate with such a kill while their victim remained down in the basement. I just can't fathom it. I feel a shiver run down my spine at the hidden culprit's ingenuity, as well as their barbarity.
なんと卑劣な犯行か。自分の手を汚さないばかりか、他者の手を借りて惨殺するなど許せないのである。
僕がさっきエントランスホールで見つけた切れた絨毯の断片はワイヤーを地下から上に通していた証拠なんだよね。
ええ、断面を調べてみましたが 100% ワイヤーによって切れたも
Yeah,
ので
wasn't
す。
surprised, but it was a very clean
お
cut.
そらく引っ張り上げられた際にワイヤーが床の隙間を通って移動し絨毯が切れたんです。今回の犯人の思考不足がうかがえますね。
So he just did it out of base, basically. Just never tried it.
証拠を残しすぎなのですわ。この偉大なるピンカートン家の後継ぎ家族探偵を相手取るには役者不足だったようですわね。
だけど、それじゃあ誰が犯人なのだろうね。
Yeah, that is true. We have no idea who it is.
それはおそらく扉を開いたそこの庶民ではありませんの。もともと怪しかったのですし。
いや、このトリックは準備さえ整えてしまえば、あとは誰かがこの洋館の扉を開くのを待つだけで。
Yeah, and we just opened the door, so sure, We were the one who sliced it open, but he was long already gone, basically.
つまり誰にでも犯行が可能なトリックなんだ。入り口を開いた張本人である無能君だけでなく、私たち探偵同盟のメンバーでもね。
ちょっと社畜さん、何をおっしゃいますの？私たちは今日本土から数時間かけてこの島に来たんですのよ。私たちに犯行など不可能に決まっていますわ。浅ましすぎる発言はたとえ庶民といえども許しませんわよ。
研究棟の人らが殺されたのって1日以上前でしょ。だったら今集まってるうちらにも犯行は可能なんじゃね？
Doesn't mean that one of us could have done it back then. What do you mean by back then?
この島の人たちを皆殺しにして老子探偵を殺すトリックを準備してから本土に戻って何食わぬ顔でうちらに合流する。もし犯人があの八つ咲き子ならそれくらい余裕でやるっしょ。そんな最低最悪なクソ野郎だからこそうちらはわざわざ集まったんだからさ。
So they do say that it's one of us. That's kind of bad, though.
そんな仲間同士で疑い合うだなんて。
おいおい待ちなよ。もっと最悪なパターンがあるだろう。
Of course, you're the one who have to speak. Renegade detective cuts in gleefully.
もっと最悪なパターン。それって何のことですか？
決まっているじゃないか。犯人を見つけ出せるならまだマシ。もっと最悪なパターンは犯人がすでに島から逃げ去っていることだよ。
Fair enough. The atmosphere turns in an instant, as much as we hope to believe otherwise. It was a possibility we couldn't ignore. That is true. If they did it, like as I said, the other guys was basically gone a day ago. Like they traveled 4 days or something. It might have just been that, yeah, they might already be gone.
仮に今回の一連の犯行が八つ咲子の仕業だとしたら、すでに逃げ去っている方が現実的だよね。だって探偵同盟の本部を壊滅させることには成功。置き土産に老子探偵を殺害する罠まで残せた。
Well, it depends on what sort of person he is.
して島に残る必要があるのかな。俺ならサクッと逃げちゃうな。そして戻ってこない。そうすれば疑われることもないんだもの。よほど強い意志と目的でもない限りは。
Yeah, what would be his motive to stay that is then? No one can argue with the Well, at the same time, he hasn't been leaving yet. And why we know that is because the glove was in the fireplace. But it had barely been, like, broken down, which means if it was been days ago, that glove would not exist. Just like he said. It'd be a counterintuitive for the culprit to remain or even return to the island at this point.
それじゃあこの事件は。
ああ、誰にでも犯行が可能である以上、もう推理しようがない。完全に手詰まりってわけ。
I examine everyone's faces again. Their eyes are filled with a suspicion and hostility that wasn't there before. I believe I could trust them just moments ago, but now a dark shadow hangs above us. If the culprit already fled, we'll never track down Senior Detective's killer. But if they're still here, they could very well be among us. Either way, it's a bitter pill to swallow. It's no surprise the team's morale has taken a hit.
顔を上げろ、探偵諸君。推理はまだ終わっていないぞ。
Holmes' voice dispels the gloom.
確かに、この事件の真相はどうあがいても悲劇かもしれない。だがそもそも探偵とは、悲劇の後に必要とされる存在だ。我々が悲劇を前に起こしてしまっては、誰が立ち向かうというんだ。
Holmes sends a wing my way before making her announcement.
この事件の犯人は一つ、致命的なミスを犯してしまった。それを今から私が解き明かしてみせよう。
The glove.
悲劇など
Because basically, they were going to plan to be amongst everyone or try to disappear, but I came in earlier than everyone else because they found me passed out on the floor. So I came in first. They hadn't counted on that. So basically, they had to get rid of the glove. The group falls silent, listening intently to what Ideal has to say. With this particular trick, anyone could have performed the killing act, so long as the proper preparations were made. It's possible the perpetrator has already fled, though if they are still present, they could very well be a part of the DA. How does Holmes intend to turn such a desperate situation around?
まだ自らの推理を話していない子がいるだろう。それが誰か無能くんもわかるだろう。
The investigator who hasn't spoken yet is Bookworm.
文学さん、確かあなたはこの部屋の暖炉を見て何かに気づいた様子でしたよね。
I kind of like this as a bit of a puzzle game in the between here, that we find these clues, which is a part of the basically battle puzzle game, but we also have to do this part, that is not just like you're done, here you have all the clues. It is basically, okay, so what clue did you find? Like, oh yeah, I found this. What was it you saw?
こそこそと見ていたんですか。気持ち悪いです。死んでください。と、少女はロリコンとおぼしき少年へと蔑みの目を向けた。
Okay, I still absolutely love how it just narrates everything.
これはその
よさないか、文学探偵。すまないな、無能探偵。この子は少々人付き合いが不慣れなんだ。
Yeah, fair enough.
全然気にしてないですよ。
I give a strained laugh as I attempt to recover from the mental blow I was just dealt.
お前もずっと暖炉の件を話したがっていたじゃないか。みんなに話してやれ。
言われずともそのつもりですけど。と、少女は不満混じりの声で返事をし、解説を始める。私たちがこの部屋を訪れた際、暖炉に火が灯っていました。この点、
違和感ですか。その正体って
Either what was burning or just how it was burning, like
こ
when it
の
was
国
burning.
では馴染みが薄く、知らないのも当然であろうが、暖炉の火というのはそう長く持たないんだ。
Oh, fair enough actually.
薪を頻繁に追加してやらなければ6時間も持たない。よくて5時間といったところだろう。
そんなに頻繁な管理が必要なものなんですね。
Yeah, that is fair. We do have one at home. It's very good though, so it's capable of keeping up quite long, but still we need to do it quite often. It's a small one.
寒いから火を灯したんじゃないですか。もう3月とはいえ、この島は肌寒いですし。
殺人事件が起こった館の暖炉を勝手につける探偵がいるわけないでしょ。ドリコン
Jesus
野郎。
Christ, apparently we already have...
それも
Well, we know how she's looking at us right now.
文学探偵の言う通りだ。私たちの中に暖炉をつけようとする者はいない。
Yeah, that is fair. We wouldn't use it now.
いるとしたら犯人だけだ。犯人は何らかの理由を持って暖炉に火をつけた。そしてそれはこの数時間に起きた出来事なんだ。
二人ともいい点に気づいてくれたな。そう、その暖炉に火をつけてしまったことこそ犯人の失策の一つさ。おそらく暖炉の火の持続時間に関する知識がなかったのだろう。だからこそ軽率にも暖炉に火をつけてしまった。いや、
Fair enough.
つけざる
They had actually some evidence to burn.
つけざるを得なかった。
ああ、このワイヤーを取り扱うのに必要なグローブを処分するためにな。
Saying this, Holmes fishes a single black glove from her pocket and waves it at us.
君たちも知っての通り、今回の犯行に使われたワイヤーソーは切れ味が良すぎるゆえに特別製のグローブが必要だ。ゆえにこのグローブの所持がバレれば犯人として疑われる。 かといって指紋のべったりついたグローブをどこかへ隠すの
Yeah,
は
that
リ
is
スクが
fair.
高い。
With that, Holmes flings the glove into the fireplace. It disappears into the flames, hissing all the while. It may have been made of sturdy material, but it's clear it wasn't fireproof.
暖炉の中から焼け残ったグローブの残骸を見つけることもできましたよ。と
あの火力で焼け残るとは、炎の精霊イフリートとの交友を深めていなかったがゆえの失態か。
ちょっと意味不明なのでスルーします。と少女は無視を決め込んだ。
素晴らしい発見だよ、文学君。
Okay.
これで犯人が
Also, couldn't we
ワイ
just
ヤー
get
用
DNA
の
from
グロー
that
ブ
or
を処理
something?
するために暖炉をつけたことは確定した。では、
I guess we don't really have a lab for
この
that.
事実が伺えるかな。魔界君、君ならわかるだろ。
Okay, so yeah, what more conclusion can we get?
無論だ。犯人がこの洋館を脱出できたならば、グローブなど適当な場所に放ってしまえばいい。近くに海もあるのだからな。わざわざ洋館の中で処分したということは、洋館の外に出られなかったということだ。
Yeah, fair enough, they were stuck here.
その通りだよ、魔界君。この洋館から研究棟までは一本道。道以外は断崖で、とても人間は降りられない。それに何より、私たちが研究棟に到着してからこの数時間、見張りを欠かさなかったが、洋館から脱出した者は皆無だっ
I
た。
do wonder who though, because we came in first, and then people found us passed out. But that means that they must have met up with someone at some
こ
point,
の
only a
暖炉
single
に火を
person.
灯した人はまだ館の内部にいるということですね。と少女はリーダーの言葉に納得するのであった。
この館の内部に。
Detectives eye each other suspiciously. But of course, why wouldn't they? If the culprit is still inside the manor, that means they're hiding within our group.
落ち着け、探偵諸君。確かに、私たちの中に犯人がいるという事実は悲しいことだが、何よりも重大な事実があ
But
る。
yeah, like, weren't we always together in a group? So it would be difficult for just one to get away and then
それは
return.
八つ咲公が確実にこの洋館の中にいるということだ。
どうして言い切れるんですか？
君が現れたおかげだよ、無能君。
Okay.
僕が？どういう意味ですか？
Holmes chuckles lightly before continuing.
八つ咲公にとって君の存在はイレギュラーに違いないからさ。その証拠に八つ咲公は2つの致命的なミスを
Also, they still say the quartering Duke, so it feels like, is it really that or is it just like a copycat?
おそらく犯人の元々の計画では証拠など残さずに姿を消すつもりだったはずだ。
Yeah, fair enough.
そうすれば下道君が言っていたように、もう八つ咲公が島から脱出したものと考えざるを得ない。
Yeah, but because I came here earlier than
混
intended,
乱に陥って
it's...
いたからな。
I didn't plan for that. I see. If the Duke's goal wasn't to put us off his scent, there wouldn't have been any need to engineer such a complex murder. For all intents and purposes, this could have been an unsolvable case.
しかしそこに無能君が現れ、予定よりも早くトラップを起動させてしまった上に入り口で気絶してしまった。もし仮に洋館内に犯人がいたとしたら、さぞ慌てたことだろう。なぜならこの洋館は窓がすべて
But I'm still wondering, because
出
we
る
only
には
met
唯一の
some
扉をくぐ
people
るほかない。
who came in through the front door. So who was the sole person who basically decided to, like, return to the group?
なのにそこには男が倒れている。もし逃げる時に目覚めて顔を見られたら一巻の終わりだ。殺そうにも
I don't even know for how long I was out actually.
おとなしく身を隠す他にない。さらにそこへ他の探偵たちまでやってきてしまう。慌てた犯人は隙を見て暖炉で証拠だけ隠滅してしまった。 どうだい？しっかりとした筋書きだろ？
Yes, but the problem is still, how do we know who did this and how? Well, how we know how, but who? No one contradicts Holmes' statements. She's right. If there was anything irregularly in the culprit's plan, it would be me. I may lack experience, and I have failed to save Senior, but it's thanks to me that a major flaw was introduced to the murderous plan. It's a bit ironic, really.
その可能性があったか。全然気づかなかったよ。
わざわざ混乱を生む発言をしておいてよく言うな。どうせ最初から全て気づいていた上で場を混乱させたのだろ。この下道め。
That would not surprise me.
お待ちなさい。どうして八つ崎公の犯行だと言い切れますの？
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that part. Because it sounds like the big bad boss, and
八つ崎公の
we
犯行
still
の
deal
特
with
徴
it.
は常に被害者が2人同時に現れること。確かに研究棟のスタッフに多数の死傷者が出ていますけど、これまでの犯行とは全く。
それが2つ目のミスなんだよ、家族くん。
Okay, their second mistake. I don't know what their second mistake is. First falls silence, and turns her gaze to me, then smiles coldly before getting into the heart of the mother.
本来この扉を開けた者は罠に引っかかり、老子探偵と共に死ぬはずだった。
Yeah, that is true. We were basically moving away from it because we got this feeling that something dreadful was gonna happen, so we moved out of the way.
つまり本来殺すはずの2人目の犠牲者を出せなかったことこそが八つ崎公最大の失敗さ。
なんですって？
Now I remember. When the trap sprung, I felt a pain in my head that led me to avoid the trap. By all means. I should have died right then. In other words, I narrowly avoided a tragic fate as the courting Duke's latest victim. Okay, fair enough.
被害者が2人いたかもしれないからって八つ崎公の犯行と断定するのは早計じゃないか？模倣犯かもしれないだろ。
分かっていながら尋ねるな、下道探偵。お前もシリアルキラーならわかるはずだろ。
Fair enough.
これはただのか乱を狙った犯行ではなく宣戦布告だ。わざわざリスクの高い手段で老子探偵を惨殺してみせることで八つ崎公は私たちにこう言っている。真相を解き明かしてみせろ。さもなくば全員八つ崎にしてやるとな。
面白くなってきたね。俺も全力で楽
Still
し
don't
ま
like
せて
him.
もらうと
I
する
really
よ。
do not like him.
My Holmes.
With Renegade Detective satisfied, Holmes claps once, turning attention back to her.
では今回の事件をまとめるとしよう。八つ崎公は私たちの訪れる数日前に島を訪れ職員を全員殺害した。
Now we get detective music as well.
その後シャンデリアと老子探偵とをワイヤーで結びつけ罠が作動してシャンデリアが落下すれば老子探偵が死ぬよう細工。8日後日研究棟に私たちが訪れたところを見計らって老子探偵の声で私に連絡。一部の探偵を洋館へと誘導する。
Yeah, we know about that.
そこで扉を開いた探偵と老子探偵を同時に殺害し2人の犠牲者を出すことで八つ崎公の犯行であることを示唆。
Fair enough, yeah.
それと同時に犯人である八つ崎公が島の外へと逃げ出せた可能性を示すことで私たちを混乱に陥れる。
Yeah, the problem was that we came earlier.
だがそこでイレギュラーが生じる。それは計画外の人物が計画外の時間に罠を作動させたことだ。そのイレギュラーのせいで犯人は洋館の外へ出られず慌てて証拠隠滅を図った。その結果不自然に暖炉に火が灯り証拠品も焼け残ってしま
Yeah,
った。
it was still there, so it was very recently.
以上のことから八つ咲公が今どこにいるか、無能君、イレギュラーの主である君が結
You
論
want
を告げ。
me to say? Oh, I can also check evidence like this. That's kind of cool. Also, there is nothing really to choose. The problem is what I hate this in a sense is it's too close to home. I said that last time as well. I played this game when I only had one choice. But yeah, that is... Yeah.
その通りだ。八つ咲公は私たちのすぐそばにいる。
I kind of want to say it's a renegade for a reason of how he is, but it's
無
way
能君が
too
生み出してくれたこの人たちの
obvious.
光明を逃すわけにはいかない。ここまではやられてばかりだったが、反撃開始といこう。私たち全員で追い込んでやろうじゃないか。この嘘に
The problem is it gonna be a game like Danganronpa where we lose one person each time, and that's more or less making the game harder as the game progresses in a sense, but we have less people to basically like handle with. Unknown, dismembered by the virus, so the culprits get from afar by using chandelier trap wires. So. Note, this scheming was set up in advance, making it hard to pin down the culprit. They remain unidentified, but must be inside the manor. Ooh, 100% S, nice.
了。でもまあ通り魔。事件の推理はここまでってことでよくね。
Given the situation, downtown casually the manor feels momentarily out of place.
解ける謎はあらかた解けて、これ以上は犯人を踏んづかまえて問いただせばいいじゃん。うちはもうお腹が減りすぎて。
Don't tell me you are the quartering duke. That is... I can't say anything because he used a voice change, but that's like feels so off in a
休
sense.
憩にしようよ。みんなお疲れモードだし、これ以上話しても拉致あかんべ。
But yeah, she is like stalling right now a lot.
さすがは渋谷殿、良いことを言うのである。どうせ犯人はこの洋館から出られぬのであろう。ならば我らがまず行うべきは犯人との開口に備え。
Armor is just agreeing, so there is nothing really to say about that. You just do it because.
それもそうだな。本土からこの島までの移動時間も含めれば、私たちはすでに半日以上休みなしで活動を続けている。
Fair enough, I guess. Holmes chuckles ruefully at downtown and Armor's comments, but speaks with a clear, firm voice.
渋谷君の言う通り、交代で洋館の出入り口を見張りながら食事をとることにしよう。
With Holmes' words, the group let out a collective sigh of relief. No one has to say it. We're all clearly exhausted. Detectives shudder away as they head towards the dining room. Does that sound from the game or outside? I don't know. The atmosphere has finally become calm and relaxed. Oh, here comes our premonition. Despite that, this tightening feeling in my chest won't disappear. I groan quietly as I feel another migraine coming on. It's just like when the chandelier fell, as if I'm not myself.
無能先輩、大丈夫？頭痛いの？バフィロンあげようか？
無理は良くないのである。さあ、食堂までおんぶするから我に捕まってくれ。
大丈夫大丈夫。だから本部は。
Okay, so the question is, what do we sense? Because each time we have sensed something and there's been danger. No, I don't know. I don't want to do that. We can save though, just in case. After some time, the pain recedes, but I can't understand it. Why is my body such a wreck right now?
渋谷さん、念のために後でバフィロンもらっていいかな。
りょう、もちろん OK だよ。先輩には借りもできちゃってたみたいだしね。
借り？
まあ、通り魔食堂行こう。置いてかれて変な疑いかけられたら。
There is something we sensed, but we don't know what we sensed yet. Downtown doesn't wait for me to respond, instead pulling my hand and leading me into the dining hall. The dining room is buzzing with chatter. Some ingredients were left in the refrigerator, so gourmet detective cooked us a meal. Workaholic, renegade, and doleful agreed to keep watch while the rest of us gathered around the lengthy dining room table.
はーいみんな、お料理ができたわよ。ちゃんと材料は私が毒味しておいたから安心してね。
毒味したって、それで死んだらどうするんですか？僕のフレンズ鑑識遊具ペロペロ君を使えば簡単に調べられたのに。
悪いな、科学の坊ちゃん。でもよ、美食の姉さんなら毒くらい平気だぜ。
Okay, fair enough, I guess.
なんだって、姉さんの舌はあらゆる毒を美味しく食べれちまうんだからな。
ヤマトちゃんってば、その言い方じゃまるで私がモンスターみたいじゃないの。ただ単に子供の頃からいろんな毒を試食してきたおかげで毒に耐性ができたというだけよ。
Okay, fair enough.
生産
噂通りの超味覚、恐ろしい人ですね。
Yeah, that is a bit alarming.
和風パスタ超美味しいんだけど、美食さん食べるだけじゃなく作る方もパないんだね。
出汁がよく効いているね。濃厚なのに爽やかな風味が後を引く味わいだ。さて、これは一体何の出汁かな？渋谷くん、考えてみるといい。
うちですか？食事の時くらい謎かけは勘弁してくださいよ。
Figure out
う
which
ちじゃわ
sauce
かん
this
ないで
is.
すって。
人生はすべてミステリーだ。いついかなる時も謎を探してしまうのは探偵のサガというものさ。
我は分かったぞ。この甘酸っぱい風味、レモンであるな。
いや、さすがにレモンでは出汁は取れない。
Oh, poor guy.
あんな汁気がたっぷりなのに。
I do wonder how he actually managed to become a detective, especially with like not having brains. He has only bronze, but still.
いや、汁気と出汁は関係ないでしょ。つうかあんた、そんな鎧姿でどう食べてるわけ？
ん？このようにして兜の隙間からすするのだが。
気持ち悪い。本当に嫌いなんですけど、あなたのこと。
Well, he never takes off the armor, but goddamn.
ブン、人参をこっそり私のスープに入れるんじゃない。ちゃんと野菜も食べないと大きくなれないぞ。
人参は
Well, to be fair, she's 10, as they said before.
それにビタミンは健康には影響を及ぼしますが、体の成長には効果を与えないものと記憶してます。よって食べなくても特に体が大きくならないことはありません。あなたの論理は破綻しています。
へりくつはいいから食べんか。せっかく美食探偵がしっかりと煮込んでくれて食べやすくなっているんだぞ。
I don't like tender carrots, it's too mushy.
文学さん、魔界さんの言う通りですわよ。探偵たるもの、好き嫌いをしてはいけませんわ。
I kinda like this group though, how all of them like
懐か
sticks
しいです
together
わ
in
ね
a sense.
私も子供の頃はもやしが全然食べられなくて苦労したものです。今は大根
もやし。家族探偵は探偵の名家ピンカートン家の出身なのにもやしなど食べていたのですか？
Well, they still need to eat vegetables, I guess.
少女
ピンカートン家も近年は苦労していてな。警備業務がなりわいだと聞いている。それを立て直した妻女こそそこの家族。
余計なことは言わなくてもよろしいですわ。ピンカートン家は今も昔も最高の探偵です。
Okay, well, we learned something about them at least.
私が八つ崎港の正体を暴
But
き
who here is
その
actually
事実を
courting
証明
Luke?
して
I'm
差し上げ
kinda
ますから
curious
見
about
てい
that.
てくださいまし。
Because I can't see it with the personalities they have. I'm getting the feeling the Hoarding Duke is basically, yes, killing 2 people, but he does it in a sense of like a game. At least the first one we saw, where it basically was like you can choose either one, but it doesn't matter which one you choose, even though the one you picked might have been bad, the other one could have been bad worse.
あれだけ凄惨な事件の後でも普通に食事が取れるなんて、みんなすごいな。
I, on the other hand, haven't been able to take a single bite of my food on my plate. Before me, a savory soup full of hearty veggies, toasted baguette slices, and fluffy eggs scrambled together with smoked meat. All the food looks delicious as it is inviting. Yet I can't will the hand holding my spoon to budge even at me. No matter how hard I try, I can't keep the grisly sight from earlier out of my head. Everyone else saw the same thing as me, but I'm the only one paralyzed by it. How pathetic can I be? I mean, I'm a member of the Alliance myself. I need to strengthen my mental fortitude so murderous scenes won't bother me this much.
顔が引きつっているぞ。大丈夫か？
Holmes is seated next to me. Her voice is a low whisper, such that I can only hear it.
ごめんなさい。ちょっと考え事をしていただけなので気にしないでください。
嘘が下手だな。殺人事件の現場を目撃したショックで食欲が湧かないんだろ。
I pretended it to everyone here. At least the first time. Or a few first time. I gawk at how easily she sees through me.
その顔を見れば誰だってわかるさ。それに探偵たるもの誰もが経験することだからな。
そうですよね。僕も早くなれるよう努力します。
おいおい、そんな必要はないぞ。むしろ逆だ。殺人事件の現場に慣れてはいけない。
Fair enough. Hopefully not, actually.
ですか。
I blur out the question before I can stop myself.
言葉通りの意味さ。確かに私たち探偵は悲劇の現場に直面しやすい。だがその光景に慣れて日常のように思ってはいけない。よく見ろ。みんな口調こそ明るいが時折真剣な面持ちを見せる。
Yeah, we saw that before, to be honest.
気持ちを切り替えるべく
I kind of strain when you learn, like, someone of us has done this.
防ぐことのできなかった悲劇に心が負けないようにな。
意識的に明るく。
Wait, what did they do on purpose? I love to just animate that to show that it's doing something. Looking again at the group, I can see hints of tension during the lulls of conversation. I see, so it's not that everyone just instantly moved from the senior detective's murder. Rather, they're steeling themselves, shrouding their weakness as they continue to untangle this mystery.
悲劇を日常と思う者に探偵を名乗る資格はない。
Well, to be fair, we have one that basically was like that, so he is not a detective, but he still is.
強い心を持った者こそが探偵なんだ。だからバト君、君も強くあれ。どんな悲劇にも負けない本物の探偵になるんだ。
I'm still curious what we did actually back in like 10 years in this game. My hand is still frozen in place, gripping my spoon, but no matter how long it takes, I'll finish this meal in front of me. Not only that, I'll become a real detective, just like Holmes said.
みんなすぐに集まってくれ。
Workaholic's voice echoes through the room. I turn to see his flustered face at the doorway.
研究棟前のヘリポート付近で何かが光ってる。もしかしたら犯人がヘリコプターで逃げようとしているのかもしれない。
え
？The group rushes outside the manor.
あれを見てごらんよ。一体あんな場所で何が光っているというんだろうね。
But we did sense something, so something bad is gonna happen.
何かとても危険な気配がします。近づいてはいけない何かの気配が。
Renegade points off in the distance, where something is definitely shining. The paved area over there is a heliport, which means that the light could belong to a helicopter. Though I didn't see anything there when I checked before.
俺にはうっすらと見えるぜ。楕円状の巨大な何かがヘリポートの上に立ってやがる。真っ黒に塗られているみたいではっきりとは見えねえが、危険な気配がピンピンに伝わってくるぜ。
でも確認しないわけにもいかない。
Okay. How and when did that manage to happen?
逃走を許してしまうことになるからね。
お待ちなさい。私たちがあのヘリポートの前を通った時は何もなかったではありませんの。ヘリをあの場所に用意することなど不可能ですわ。
あのヘリポートの地下には機材の格納庫があると聞いたことがある。こうして私たちを洋館に引き寄せて今脱出を図ろうとしているとした。
Okay, I did not know that. I thought it was just a normal heliport.
議論している暇はないな。早く向かおう。
Without delay, Ideal begins dueling out orders to each detective.
社畜くんに家族くん、渋谷くん、科学くん、それに魔界くんと文学くんはこの場に残ってくれ。私たちが離れた隙に敵はこの洋館を狙ってくるかもしれない。十分に警戒しておいてくれ。
はい、確かに任されました。リーダー、どうかお気をつけて。
こちらは我々に任せろ。
I'm still curious who did it. I can't actually figure it out. It's not like when we play Ace Attorney and stuff like that, because right now we figure out how they did it. But they're basically, if as we talked about before, they are a... I do a quick save. Oh shit, I have a quick save on that button, a quick load on the other one. Oh, couldn't Renegade stay here?
そこの高台から様子を伺ってほしい。そして何か異常があれば私に連絡を。僕も同行します。
Dolpher interrupts Holmes, his voice wavering. Why do you want to come as well?
声も足も震えているぞ。君のその体質でよほど恐ろしい何かを感じ取っているのだろう。
It's the danger magnet sensors.
本当に平気なのか。ヤマト君と共に遠くから見張ってくれているだけで十分だぞ。
怖いですけど、僕の名探偵体質は自分の身に危険が迫らないと発動しません。だから遠目からでなくホームズさんの隣でちゃんと警戒したいんです。
Fair enough.
よく言ったぜ、飛躍の坊ちゃん。あんたのことは俺が必ず守り抜いてやっから安心しな。僕こう見えて17歳なんだけど。年上かよ。すまねえ。お詫びに一発かましてやってくれ。
さて、
Jesus. Rowdy is definitely rowdy. There's no other sense of like anything else with that.
もしかしたら先ほどの事件よりもさらに恐ろしい目に遭うかもしれないぞ。
僕は。
Oh, I only have one decision. Go with Holmes.
ホームズさんと共に行きます。
Am I gonna have more decisions later
探偵同盟
on?
の一員ですから。
Like, think it like Zero Escape, where we had the premonition before. We could technically choose not to go to the research center, but we did. And then we kind of like got a game over, but we basically ended up back where we were. So, is it like right now we go with Holmes because we decide to do that? But it might be that if something happened, we realize like, okay, what will you do? I'm gonna do something else because I realize something bad is happening. Because we have some sort of like spider sense kind of weird ass way, but we have yet to understand how it works. We had that before with the headache, but nothing had yet to happen. So I guess now when everyone basically came here, they saw the helipad, because it took a while before they saw it. So I guess like they must have done something at that point and we sensed it or something. I don't know. we sense some sort of danger. I feel an odd sense of calm on the mountain path despite the underlying intention. It's likely because I'm surrounded by so many talented detectives. As long as we're together, there's nothing we can't handle, I'm certain of it. And most importantly, Holmes is by my side. She's without a doubt the finest detective around. Her abilities are, well, ideal as the chief of this skilled bunch. We only spent a few hours together up until now, and yet, getting to experience the talents of the DA's members have been enough to eclipse even the Duke's overwhelming tyranny. Honestly speaking, no matter how fearsome this Duke is, I can't imagine this detective could ever be defeated. Even with the uncertainty of whatever trap our investigation may uncover, I rest assured that everything will be fine.
ヤマト君、どうだ？だいぶ降りてきたが、光の正体はつかめたか？
すまねえ。輪郭は見えちゃいるんだが、何かまではまだ判別がつかねえんだ。
So the problem is it's a glaring light, so we can't barely see because it's towards us.
どうやらヘリコプターではなさそうだぜ。見た目はなんだか巨大なドラム缶に光る目玉がついているみてえだ。
巨大なドラム缶？
It's getting increasingly difficult to determine what that object may be. Helicopter or not, we should have been able to identify it by now. Naturally, our pace begins to quicken.
気をつけてね、理想ちゃん。なんだかとってもきな臭い香りがするわ。
そそる思考じゃないか。敵はなかなかにいいセンスをしているよ。
飛脚殿は下がっていてくれ。何があろうとも我がみんなを守ってみせる。
As we walk, the lights draw closer, until... Oh!
やろう！動き始めたぞ！
So, has the courting Duke something to do with the research center 10 years ago?
動いたって。
As Riley shouts, the light which had been glowing in front of us begins to approach. At the moment, Dolfo's face goes white, as he lets out a cry beside me.
皆さん、逃げてください！これは、この気配は、逃れられない死の気配です！探偵諸君、洋館まで走って戻るぞ！
Yeah, we recognize that thing. That is from 10 years ago. Did they do experiment on us 10 years ago to be able to, like, make this now? At Holmes' command, we turn our back... Well, we're gonna have an ad in about 5 minutes, people. Just warning you all. At Holmes' command, we turn our backs to the light and begin to run. In the distance, I hear an ominous mechanical sound. The noise grows louder and louder until it's bearing down upon us. When I look back, our horrific figure is practically on top of the group.
みんな館で待っていてくれ。
武装さん。
I hear armor heading towards the sound, but then...
こそは一体。
Armor's scream echoes from behind. What could have happened? We need to help him, but there is really anything I can do. What in the world is going on back there? Even if I won't make a difference, it's still better than not even trying. With my mind made up, I do an about face. The first thing I notice is Holmes, who must have just turned around herself. Then right in my line of sight I spot it. Colossal ominous black shadow. Just as Rowdy had said, it resembles a giant metal drum. Its figure, several meters tall, looms above us. It looks down, then rushes towards while emitting a shrill mechanical noise.
こいつって。
The trauma I suffered years ago resurfaced in my mind. This was the very same thing that attacked us back then. But why is it at DA headquarters?
そういうことか。
The comment slipped from Holmes' mouth as if the presence of this thing is confirmed or suspicious. She braces herself and lifts her fist before issuing her command.
振り返るな。私が時間を稼ぐから、君たちは先に行け。
んなこと。
行けと言っている。君たちがカバになったところでこいつにはかなわない。
That is true. I don't know how we survived that thing 10 years ago.
バカ野郎、しんがりなら俺の方が。
ヤマトちゃんよりも理想ちゃんの方がずっと強いわ。悔しいけどここは任せましょう。
僕のせいでまた人が。
泣いてる暇はないだろう。俺たちにできることを探すとしよう。
Despite our conflicted feelings, the group begins to run. But what should I do? Can I really just leave Holmes behind?
また僕は君を守れないのか。
何度も言わせないでくれ。
Holmes glanced my way. Her profile beams with deep, genuine happiness.
私はかつて君に救われたんだ。今度は私に君を救わせてくれよ。
I steel myself and turn back to Holmes. Then I take off in a sprint with every ounce of strength in my body, as if I'm running away from the very reality unfolding behind me. I hear a grunting, clanging sound as if something metallic were being struck. The overbearing noise that had been pursuing us now recedes into the distance. It must be Holmes' doing. She's the chief of DEA for a reason. Surely she could hold her own against that monstrous thing. Maybe. Just maybe my concern isn't misplaced. It'll be fine. If anyone can handle this and make it back safely, it's Holmes. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
ありがとう、ワト君。
As if sensing Holmes' gratitude, I find myself turning around to face her. Behind me, I see a fountain of bright crimson spray into the moonlight. It catches the light briefly before showering down on the ground below. Jesus, okay, this machine looks like it just looks like, as I said, a drum, but just like having all these daggers and stuff there. A beautiful white figure is suspended amidst the scarlet. Her presence which felt so imposing only a moment ago seems insignificant now. Her limbs, once graceful, now hang like a marionette with its strung cut. The sight seems so unreal. I doubt my own eyes, however. The sounds of her rending flesh and spraying blood snap me back to reality. The blaze of that pitch-black monster pierced through her slender body, arcing upwards onto the sky with strings of red. The merciless act is repeated once, twice, 3 times in a vivid, unadulated display of violence. Saika's body, which had barely remained standing, begins to sink limply towards the ground. I try to yell, but no words come out. My throat quakes, unable to muster the sound. As her body slumps to the earth, my voice finally rings out. Oh, and now we actually go into the intro, huh? That was the longest time until the intro. But I might have been right then. I did say that perhaps we were gonna lose her for the reason of she's too close for us. Like she's too close to us. Oh, okay, yeah, that looks very bad. Wait, did it also say like 1 detective versus 16 killers? Unranked. But to be fair, we never knew his rank. But I do wonder if he actually is dead, because many of these are like screenshots of in the midst of the game. And there was one where we still saw her. I actually like this intro. It doesn't just show like story-wise, it shows like gameplay-wise in a sense. Like this is how the game works. I don't know why. I kinda like this a bit. Whoa. Okay, why are we having a headquarter that is full of deadly traps? Wait, was that us? Why did we look so fucking murderous there? Hold on. Okay, yeah, this game does give me like a lot of the... Wait, did he have... Okay, in his irises, it looks like he had the Cordon Duke's icon in it. This intro is definitely something else. I can barely understand what is gonna happen in this game. It's gonna be too fast for me to actually process some stuff, because as I said, it looked like either one killer against 16 detectives or one detective against 16 killers. But not only that, like many of the images looked like it was screenshots of, like, for example, this. So I am so confused of like what actually is gonna happen, because one of them looked like I was the murderous one. Let's attempt to run towards her. A hand reaches out to stop me from behind. I turn to meet Dolphol's stern expression. He immediately starts to run, forcibly pulling me along. Tears still lingering in Dolphol's eyes. He must be grieving too, but despite that, he's squashed down his feelings to soldier onwards. I release his hand and run on my own. It's right. A morning can wait. Right now we need to survive this. As Dolphol calls out, Renegade kicks the rock face of the cliff beside him. Not one moment later, I hear a loud rumbling above us. Fair enough. I was like, is it danger for him? No, it is just that if you do something there, it is gonna be dangerous. Like, oh, yeah, fair enough. Rocks rain down, pummeling the black machine with an impact no human could survive. Once again, I'm shown how terrifying Dolphol's power can be. However... Why does it make that sound? Because it's not just like a mechanical world, that is like... It's like it's programmed in. The automaton immediately bursts free in the rubble, letting out some kind of metallic war cry as it resumes motion. Oh, Armor is still alive. A bellowing voice erupts from behind. I failed to notice that Armor had caught up to us until I see him clinging tightly to the black machine. They grapple like wrestlers. Armor must have seen Holmes' body, yet still charging without hesitation. What incredible resolve. But this strength is outclassed. If only just, and his massive frame is slowly being pushed back.
嘘さんも一緒に逃げましょう。
ダメだ。今こいつを離せば確実にみんなに追いつき全滅してしまう。我は理想探偵を守れなかった。他のものは何としても。
Armor Detective is prepared to give his life. It's no different from when Holmes gave hers. All I can do is watch helplessly. We have to escape. We need to escape.
武装ちゃん、1、2の3でジャンプしてね。
ジャンプ。
Gourmet is suddenly standing next to me, and in front of her. Wait, what is happening? Rowdy wields a massive log that I can only assume she picked up somewhere.
かっこいいわよ、ヤマトちゃん。後でキスしてあげるわね。
結構だりゃー。
Rowdy hurls the log towards the black machine.
はい、1、2の3。
The log rolls beneath Armor as he leaps and smashes directly into the machine. The log seems to have lodged itself between its legs, compromising its balance completely. It feels like we've finally made a dent in its armor, so to speak.
そうだ、さっき地下でプラズマナックルっていう強そうな技があるって。
そうか、了解である。この右腕に蓄電し続けたエネルギー、今こそ解放しよう。
Okay, sure, do it. I heard a loud crackling as Armor swings his right arm at the tottering black mass.
くらえ、必殺プラズマナック。
With a thunderous crack, my vision is overwhelmed by a blinding flash of light. When my eyes adjust, I see the machine has been pushed back considerably. It must have been Armor's doing. This fearsome blow was aided by the electric current, a rather powerful one, evidently. But the metal thing does not look one bit addled. In fact, it seems ready to charge towards us at any moment.
不思議なのか、あの黒いのは。武装さん、今のうちに逃げましょう。
すまん。プラズマナックルを撃つと全身がしびれてしまって。
Armor moves so stiffly that I have no choice but to lend him my shoulder and run with all my might. We can't throw away this opening our combined effort made for us. If it weren't for Holmes, we would have died before we got this far in the first place. The scene replay in my head. In the end, I couldn't bring myself to call her Psyche even when, deep down, I truly felt it was her. And now there is no way to confirm if Holmes really was the girl I once knew. As we run, I vent my anger to no one in particular, but ultimately, I'm angriest with myself. Armor Detective fought for our sake, yet all I can do is lend him my shoulder. After running for quite some time, we arrived at the manor where the others are waiting.
どういう状況ですのこれ。
リーダーはどこに行ったんだい？姿が見えないけど。
The remaining detectives panic as they see the black mass approaching behind us. There's no time to elaborate.
説明は後です。早く扉を開けてください。
なんで庶民に命令されなきゃいけませんの？あなた、私がどれほど高貴な家系の出なのか分かって。
あの黒いやべえのに追いつかれたら皆殺しにされんだよ。いいから早く扉開けて飛び込めこら。
Fair enough.
わかりましたわよ。
Fair enough. Cowed by Rowdy's ferocity, the group wordlessly rush into the manor. As soon as the lock clicks, A loud banging echoes through the halls as the mask repeatedly slams itself against the door. It continues, as if goading us to come out. But the door doesn't seem to budge an inch. I shudder to think what would happen if we hadn't made it back in time.
大丈夫だよ。安心して。
Yeah, welcome back, Yanni. We managed to escape the Black Mass. You kind of missed some stuff happening here, so if you want, I can recap.
見た目は木製のこの扉だって中身は鋼鉄。窓だって防弾仕様だ。
I hope the trip went well.
たとえ戦車の砲撃を受けたって
And yes,
びく
welcome
とも
back.
しないよ。
So, where we left off, I think it was around the time where we did the investigation stuff. And basically, we managed to figure out that the Quartering Duke is amongst us. Because apparently when I came in earlier, I managed to survive his trap. Mostly because I wasn't supposed to be there. And, well, turns out my bike's radiator coolant was out, so my bike started smoking. Oof. Sorry to hear that. Hope it goes well, though. Gotta say, most unluckiest day in a while. I feel you. I know how it feels, but for me, it's not really a day. But yeah, I know the feeling. I absolutely know. That is too close to home right now. But yeah, so basically we managed to figure out the Quartering Duke is... Oh shit, true. Yeah, don't worry about it. I just feel like, yeah, I know exactly what you're feeling. But yeah, so Quartering Duke is amongst us, we managed to figure out. For you, your day just started. Yep, that as well. I don't know how my day is gonna be, but I don't hope really for anything. Mostly because I don't know what my own decisions is any longer. But yeah, so we managed to figure out that. They haven't been able to escape because I came too early here. So they didn't manage to fix everything and managed to make sure there was no clues left. We managed to get some food in us, apparently. Some were guarding the door. They managed to see something at the helipad and thought that the Quartering Duke was gonna escape. But when we got there, we managed to find the same machine as 10 years ago. If you're remembering, like, the big shadow with, like, rings as eyes. I pray that you will have an amazing day. Yeah, I kind of pray for that as well. To be fair, I pray that I can relax soon, because it feels like I've not been able to breathe for a long time. When I actually accepted this job, I thought I was gonna be able to, but no. Because of everything else. But yeah, I'm gonna stop with that, because I've done like already 20 minutes of that in the beginning of the stream. So yeah, we got chased by this murderous trash can drum-like robot. And Holmes, which she is called, I think you missed that before, but she's named Psycha something Holmes, also Ideal, she's called, is now dead. I think, because we did get a intro scene where we saw a few screenshots of us with her. So I'm a bit uncertain. So, yeah, she has been sliced up, because apparently that machine has arms with a lot of knives, apparently. So we have been rushing here and try to survive. That is like a recap of what happened. Everything else was more or less like small talk and explaining what we need to do. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on, because the intro video of this game was a mix of screenshots and not gameplay, but like, think it like it reminded me of a Danganronpa intro in a sense. Because it was like showing like screenshots of the game, showing like us doing the investigations with these like Shibim people. But also some stuff were so weird, because it looked a moment like one of the screenshots was us. Not really, more like images of how everything looks. For example, like we didn't have like screenshots of like or clips like of the gameplay, but more like we had the images of the gameplay basically. like the shibis we controlled before, like they were used as showing like this is how the game looks, this is how this looks. Not fully, but like it showed like how some graphics were looking like. So not fully clips, mostly just screenshots. And one screenshot looked like us having red eyes, looking murderous towards a renegade. So I have no idea what this game is gonna bring, to be honest, because everything went so quick. There was like a little newspaper clip, and I don't know if it said one detective against 16 murderers, or 16 detective against one murderer. Because not only that, we did see a lineup of everyone where only I looked normal and everyone else had red eyes. So I am so confused if I'm like the one that is only the good one here, or what's going on. So I am actually curious what's gonna happen here. Because I said before you came in, that if she actually was the girl from 10 years ago, which she said she was, she's way too close to us to either be telling the truth or even stay with us for that long. And well, now we saw what's happening here. Man, this is really giving me Warden Danganronpa vibes. It does! I said that before as well. Like, you said, when you read on Reddit, that this has like Zero Escape, Danganronpa, Ace Attorney-like vibes. And like, it does. It really goddamn does. Those of us who were with Holmes, also she's called Holmes, as I said. She's called Ideal, but her name involves Holmes, and some people call her that. Hang our heads while the others look for Renegade with incredulous faces.
嘘ですわ。あの女は頭脳だけでなく武道の腕前だって達人級ですのよ。どうせ彼女お得意の手品か何かなのでしょ。そうに決まっていますわ。死んだと思わせて後からひょっこり顔を出してくるのです。本当に嫌な女ですわ。
I kinda hope so. Because to be honest, we saw her being cut down 10 years ago. But then she said we saved her somehow. So I don't know what happened to her.
我は真っ先に飛びかかり、その動きを止めた。だが、奴のボディから飛び出す刃に気づけず、
ホームズさんを襲ったあの刃だね。生きていてよかったよ。
Yeah, that thing, by the way, was not just slashing once. It was like a cooking machine, basically. It just had nice forearms.
確かに。生きていたのは行幸だった。しかし、あまりにも致命的な隙だった。
Also, apparently, I believe this dining room in this house apparently have spikes as floor. I'm not even joking.
立ち上がってすぐに駆け寄ったが、その時にはすでに出血多量で事切れていたのである。本当に無念だ。我が奴の隠し刃に気づいていれば、あと少し早く意識を取り戻し、理想殿の盾となれていれば。
Well, Holmes. Should have been Sholmes for real.
我がもっと強ければ。
Fair enough.
強ければ。くそ
The entrance hall reverberates with the sound of armored gauntlets pounding against the floor. No one doubts his testimony. How could we? He's far too stricken by grief for it to be a performance.
さて、状況を整理しておこうか。俺たちは敵の罠にまんまとはめられてリーダーを殺されてしまった。その上外に謎の怪物。
We still don't know who the Quartering Duke is. We went to Fu to eat before that.
とにもかくにも俺たちはしばらくこの洋館で生活するしかなくなったというわけだ。同志探偵たちを殺した犯人。八つ
崎公が潜むこの洋館で。
Everyone falls silent at the renegade's words. According to Holmes' theory, the Duke is still somewhere within Gormgast. Also, not only that, because the machine is here, it means that the same people who did something 10 years ago has something to do with this. Because they did say that we'd never caught. The experiment, like the people who made the experiments 10 years ago was never caught. So I am questioning, like, what does this have to do with the Quartering Duke? Nobody says a word. but it's obvious that all of us have begun eyeing one another with distrust. If this was his plan all along, then the Duke is even more formidable than I thought. Here in this room is a closed circle of detectives, with each other suspecting the rest. I've been lured into an extraordinary dilemma, one that I have yet to see in the pages of any mystery novel. Renegade Detective's words leave the hall deadly quiet. Plot twist, Armor is a future version of incompetent. Would be interesting, because to be fair, he had a plasma glove, which he just punched the shit out of the machine with. And apparently his body got numb afterwards, so I don't know, he might just be a machine. But at the same time, he was slurping soup underneath the gap in his armor. So yeah, I don't know, he probably is actually human. Porsche is the first to break the silence.
理想探偵が語っていたこの洋館に潜んでいる八つ咲公を見つけ出すのです。理想探偵を殺した犯人もどうせその方でしょうからね。
家族さんはショックを受けていないんですか？
受けていないわけがないでしょう。
Well, because you're posh. You always say you're not.
私のような上流階級とて人間、理想探偵の死にショックは受けていますですが、だからこそ今すぐにでも犯人を見つけなければなりません。彼女の意志を継ぎ、この組織を率いるリーダーが必要なのです。そして、リーダーにふさわしいのはこの私、家族探偵以外に
To be honest, I kind of saw this one coming. Not gonna lie.
この館の捜査を始めますので、失礼いたしますわ。
ちょっと家族さん、単独行動は危険ですよ。私もついていくから。
Yeah, that's true. Working alone right now is dangerous. Workaholic scurries after Posh as she strides towards the hallway by herself. I'm considering going after her, but stop myself. Things should be fine along as Workaholic is with her.
それじゃあ俺は自分の部屋でも見てくるかな。
自分の部屋？そんなのが割り当てられているんですか？
ああ、この洋館はそもそも私たちのような外部からの客が泊まるための宿泊施設なんだ。
Oh, okay.
まあこれだけ多くの客が来ることなどめったにないゆえ、一部のものはアイデアになっているがな。
That just was a hook that fell down.
無能探偵は理想探偵が使うはずだった101号室を使うといい。部屋の鍵は各部屋の中にあるそうだ。
Thank you for giving me her room.
ホームズさんの部屋に僕が。
That must feel bittersweet to be honest. Well, bittersweet. Just bitter to be honest. Not even bittersweet. Not sure what to think. I failed to do much of anything. Does someone like me really deserves a private room? Or maybe Adil was doing a Junko and died at the start only to reveal as the mastermind. That would be something, to be fair, that I thought of. But at the same time, we did see a cutscene where we tried to actually... Well, not a cutscene. Screenshot. Where we tried to hide from the machine. But not in the forest where we were before. But basically in like a basement or something. So I feel like she is alive, but perhaps not evil? Or we might do the same thing as before, that we get this premonition, and at one point we will be able to change it. But I don't know, because we did actually get one of those headaches before. Perhaps in another timeline, yeah, who knows. So, we did get one of those headaches before where we felt danger before we went to eat something, but nothing happened until basically the big-ass machine.
私にも気持ちはわかる。目の前で誰かを救えなかった時、無力な自分を責めてしまうのは仕方がないことだ。そんな状態の時はしっかりと休息を取るといい。十分な休息があって初めて。
Yeah, he's not lying about that, to be honest.
ありがとう。
Wait, hold on, who is it? It's Mother. Hold on, give me a second. I'm just gonna talk to her. I'm just gonna...
ブン、今日は部屋に戻ってもう眠るぞ。お前も早朝からずっと起きっぱなしで疲れただろう。